Nous passons à la dernière conférence. Commandant Yoss Leclerc, merci d'être parmi nous. Vous avez participé à de nombreux projets internationaux, notamment avec le Single Window. Sur le plan académique, vous avez enseigné au Marine Institute de l'Université Montréal et à l'Université Laval, tout en publiant des recherches sur le secteur maritime. Vous siégez notamment au Conseil national du bien-être des gens de mer du Canada et l'International Sailor Society of Canada. Je vous en prie.
Je pourrais avoir votre micro, s'il vous plaît?
Oui, bien sûr.
Good evening, everyone. The last, but hopefully not the least, presentation. Today, I will change a little bit of the topic. We talked about, maritime law. We talked about economy. We talked about shipping, about ports. And I'm going to focus a little bit on the human element. It's very close to my heart. And today I will be talking about the impact of the digitalization in the maritime domain. But first of all, I know that there is a lot of misuse of terminology. And I would like just to clarify some wording. When we talk about digitization, it's to convert analog data into digital form. Whereas when we talk about digitalization, it's more profound. It's really about reviewing your processes, looking at changes in your workflow every day. And it's about business intelligence. And why I'm talking about that is because often we also misuse smart and intelligence. And I argue here that to be smart, you need first to be intelligent. An organization, and I travel with my team around the world, and a lot of organizations believe that by putting technology, you're going to solve all your problems. And this is a big mistake. And to really able to move forward, and we are talking about the future here, it's really to look at your intelligence. And what I mean by an intelligent organization, it's about your organization. It's about your processes. It's about your governance. And you can apply that to port, you can apply that to shipping lines. It's about the people that you have, the skills that you have, the regulatory framework. It's all that. It's how the organization has the ability to challenge any coming trend, any coming challenges, how they're going to be able to adapt, how they're going to be able to overcome. And this doesn't happen just with tools. Then when you have done all that work, and believe me, I'm going to give a business case at the end, it takes a lot of time and resources and effort. But when it's well done, then you can add your technology and all the systems that we know to really optimize what you have already in place. But this is very important. And a lot of organizations, they confuse both. And I've seen that quite a lot around the world. Now, when we talk about digitalization, and I'm quite involved with the Marine Autonomous Surface Ship. I'm on the IMO working group to develop the code right now. And I have a question for you. Is it an evolution or a revolution? Anyone? What? Yes. And if you look at the history of the maritime domain, we have started with sailing boat, and now we move with engines and full automated vessels. I remember my old days on ship. We were over 50 crew members. Now the ships are 4 times the size, and they manage them with a crew of 20. Okay, and I'm not going to get into the seafarers' welfare and all that. Then, looking at down the road, the mass, as you know, they are talking about an introductory code by 2026 and a mandatory enforcement of that code by 2028. There are still question marks. We are still working, and we don't know about that. But how, as a port authority, how are you going to get prepared? What do you have in place? Do you have the people? Do you have the resources? Do you have the processes? Do you have the documentation? All that. Do you have, after that, your smartness? Because you're going to have to deal with a lot of challenges. Okay? How are you going to, at the port level, how are you going to manage this kind of new kind of vessel coming in? How are you going to do that? And we talked about this behemoth vessels coming in and all the challenge that already brings. Now this new type of vessel, how are you going to deal with that? The technical management, any issues with the vessel, who are you going to talk to? Who is responsible? The cargo handling preparation, all the processes around, and we had the freight forwarder, we had all the stakeholders would deal with that. The cargo management, in unloading, loading, the training and skills. And again, I'm hammering on that because a lot of time is not taken into account. We still believe that technology will solve everything. But I argue that there is always a human at one end of that process. Okay? And it's funny because when you talk about these autonomous systems, there is always the backup, the human is always as a backup. Okay? Then the human is there and he will still be there. Then this digitalization is not just some tools to put, but it is a really complete organizational and operational transformation. It's a culture change. Okay? You don't, again, there is planning, and this is the business case. You can see me, I was quite young there. It was in the Port of Vancouver. This was the team of the Harbour Master Office. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We were 9 people, and we were handling 200 million ton per year. We were 9 people, and we had a patrol boat. This was the team. And they hired me because the port started to have issues with congestion, environmental issues, noise issues, and the port needed to move from a landlord port to a more involved operational authority. Then we started to work, and you see the picture on the right side. We put the first of this kind in North America and a fusion center. Okay, and when I left the organization, we were over 100 team members, and it was self-financially sufficient. We were able to create services, we were able to create demand, and we were paid for all that services. And it's still running today. And this design was replicated in some biggest port in Australia, Pilbara, that handles over 1 billion ton of cargo every year, 1 billion. But again, two pictures, very easy, but from the picture on the left, it took me and my team 2 years just to develop the planning and the design of that future center. And when I say design, the full. What is going to be, why, how, where, who. And after that, it's the people who are going to work on that, how they're going to work together. Working also with the HR, opportunities, because we had the whole organization, we had at that time 300 people. Then moving with that project, we asked, are there anyone interested to become a member of this new fusion center? And people raised their hand, and we were able to provide them with training. during these 2 years to get them ready to that position. Then there were a lot of opportunities and a lot of commitment. The building of it took a year with all the technology. And to really get the whole team fully performant, it took 3 years, the learning skills. And today, it's still in place, capable of handling day-to-day operation, capable of handling emergency and even crisis. Then again, I always say, any organization, think big, but start small. I always recommend to start with the pilot project. You cannot do everything in once, you're going to fail. Then you need to look at what are the challenges. You need to be able to prioritize. You need to make sure that you're going to have the resources. You're going to have the commitment. And then you can start to work on the pilot project, show what works, what doesn't work, lesson learn, the whole project management tools, and then you can slowly and surely, expand, that new model or that new way of working. Thank you very much.